It's early morning at London's Heathrow Airport, one of the busiest travel hubs in the world. Thousands of people transit through here every day. And this morning, two very special passengers are due to arrive at the airport's animal reception centre. Chimpanzees Sasha and Kangu. For the past week, Alison and Monkey World's animal director Jeremy Keeling have been in Argentina at the Buenos Aires Eco Park. They've been getting to know the two chimps.
Hey, Kangu!
Learning all they can about the pair's characters.
Kangu's personality is more plastic than Sasha.
And diets.
All of us here are working so hard to make sure that everything is perfect for the two chimpanzees, and that's what this is all about.
The Eco Park, formerly Buenos Aires Zoo, has been undergoing a big transformation. It no longer houses exotic species, focusing instead on protecting native wildlife. As a result, animals have had to be rehomed, and for female chimp Sasha and her son Kangu, that's meant a 7,000-mile trip to Monkey World. Their journey started more than 24 hours ago, and Alison and Jeremy are now waiting to catch up with them at the Animal Reception Centre.
Now it's just a waiting game, and it's really hard after traveling so far and so long and spending so much stressful time and emotion making sure everything's right for them. You just want to see them and get them back to the park now, so we're so close.
The two chimps have been offloaded from the plane and are due to arrive at the centre any minute. 25-year-old Sasha and 15-year-old Kangu have made the journey in individual travel crates. It's nearly 16 hours since Alison last laid eyes on them.
Just want to see them here and know that they're okay. Get them loaded in our van and back to the park. It's been a long trip and it's awful. I can't even imagine what it's like inside of those boxes for that long.
The individual crates are so big, the chimps need to be transported in separate cargo trucks. First to arrive is Sasha.
Hey, sweetie! Hi! Hi, Sashi! Good girl, I know! What you doing?
One of the keepers from the Eco Park in Buenos Aires has also made the journey.
Ah, Nico! Fantastic, look. Come. Look, your girl's right here. I think it's Sashi.
Nico will be a friendly, recognisable face for the pair as they start to settle into their new life at Monkey World.
That was nice and calm, happy for us to touch her finger. And yeah, really good. So now we just need to see Kangu, wait for the paperwork, and then we'll be on our way. Almost.
Sasha is offloaded into a quarantine area. It's not long before her son Kangu arrives too. Alison and Nico are quick to check him over.
All yours.
Kangu, ¿estás enojado? Sí.
Good boy. Yep, all good. He seems really good. He's calm. I think he's a little bit sad and frightened because he doesn't know what's happening. And he's been away from Sasha for a wee while now, so they're going to get them alongside of each other while we wait for the paperwork to be finalized, and then we'll get them down to Monkey World and unload it as fast as possible. So far, so good.
Making sure all the paperwork is correct is always a laborious process. And while Alison waits patiently to hit the road, back at the park in Dorset, preparations are in full swing.
They've been in their crates for an awfully long time now, so I think they're going to be very happy to be out and in a bit of the bigger space to stretch their legs. Got a lot of willow for food and for bedding as well.
The park's plan is for Sasha and Kangu to join Brian's small group of 5. Sean is hoping to start introductions as quickly as possible.
They will be very aware, like Brian's group, that there are new chimps in the house, and I think the longer you leave it, the more frustration would build. So we would probably go sooner rather than later. There's not a lot of predicting in chimp intros. You just kind of just hope for the best.
Back at Heathrow, there's good news for Alison.
Thank you.
Billy. Yeah, just a collection note for the art. Station needed it.
With the paperwork checked and signed, Alison's given the green light.
We're on our way now, and everybody should be fine. We just want to get them in the van and on the way to Dorset, and then perhaps we can relax and feel happy for the chimps, but not yet. Not yet.
First, the chimps need to be loaded into the park's transport van. Alison is delighted with how well the pair have coped with the journey so far.
This is a huge thing for them, and how well have they handled it? Really good. Really good.
With the travel crates secure, the team can start the 120-mile journey back to Dorset. It's the final leg of a very long day. Nearly 36 hours after Alison and Jeremy left Buenos Aires with chimps Sasha and Kangoo, they finally arrived at their destination in Dorset. The pair's rehoming has been nearly a year in the planning and involved a lot of people. Some of the key players from the eco park have travelled from Argentina to help the two chimpanzees settle in.
Hey, Sweet Pea. Sashi. Hey, Sashi.
Hola, Sashita. ¿Qué te estás haciendo?
Where have you gone?
¿Llegaste,
There
mamá?
she is.
Llegaste.
Good girl.
Female Sasha is first to be unloaded. She's 25, a full-grown, hefty adult, and moving her inside the heavy crate isn't straightforward.
A bit further, a little bit further. Right, that'll do for the moment, right.
And she's let them know she's not happy. Jeremy and the team need to manoeuvre the crate up to the slide, which connects to the bedrooms in Brian's chimp house.
Okay. One, go. Oh.
Brian and his group of 5 are outside in their enclosure to allow the new chimp space to settle in.
Put him down for a second. Put him down for a second. That's heavy. Yeah.
The slide opening on the outside of the house has been designed to match the one on the crate.
Good. Yeah, that's near enough.
Trying to keep Brian's lot calm and marry the box up to our house so that she can, Sashi can just enter the house nice and easy. So looks good in there. We've kept Brian's out just so that there can't be too much disorder. But yeah, fingers crossed that they all are okay once we get them in. But...
Sean?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yep.
When everybody is ready,
Okay, it's going to happen.
Jeremy opens up to let Sasha in.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Let's go. Yeah.
She doesn't hang around, heading straight in, then cautiously taking in her new surroundings.
No, she's pretty nervous, but that's fair. Trying to be really cautious, but she's frantic right now. She's pacing the floor, looking at everything. She can hear chimps on both sides of her hollering. You've got Bart's big group, Brian's out there. There's still banging happening because we're getting Kangoo's box up to the slide on the outside. So once he comes in, there's going to be hopefully a really lovely reunion, and then she'll calm down a bit more. So she's holding herself together pretty well. She's going to be a strong lady. Kangoo's coming.
The team get Kangoo's crate into position.
Hey, Kangoo. He's poised and waiting.
Jeremy opens up, with some help from Kangoo himself.
He's in.
And, just like his mum, Kangoo races straight through. Once he's secure, Sean opens the slide to reunite mother and son after 36 hours apart. They're pleased to be back together again.
Are you happy, Nico?
Yeah.
Well done.
I'm totally relieved that they're here. Our teams have come together perfectly to make the transition for Sasha and Kangoo really good. But at the same time, I'm now feeling my next chapter of anxiety about how we bring the groups together. But actually, this is brilliant. And They just need to be able to settle down. So we're letting everybody have a little look, say hello, and then probably we'll leave them with the chimp guys.
The two chimps will be given time to settle before the real work starts, introducing them to Brian's group. The next chapter in Sasha and Kangu's story is about to begin. It's 3 weeks since the park welcomed Sasha and Kangu, the two chimps Alison and Jeremy collected from Buenos Aires Eco Park in Argentina. Life for the pair has changed dramatically, and the primate care staff have been working hard to settle them into their new home. It's important they get to know and trust their carers, and, in time, their new housemates.
Kangu? Yeah, come on. Yeah, we love the milk, don't we? Yeah, you're a good man. That's nice, isn't it? Save some for the others, though, yeah? Bri, Sash, Nari. Do you want some? Where are you all gone? Yes, I know, sweetheart. There you go.
Chimp introductions are always tricky and potentially dangerous. So far, the meetings with Brian's group have been a baptism of fire for the pair. Particularly for 15-year-old male Kangu.
So at the moment, he's not been massively involved with the intros because basically his mum won't let him. We have tried him at the mesh with Brian and Nari, and it just doesn't really go anywhere because Sasha will just have a tantrum in the back and that... Similar to that. Sasha will have a tantrum in the back bedrooms when they're separated and just... He's too upset by her kicking off in the back bedrooms that he doesn't interact with anyone. So for now, we're just focusing on just Sasha, getting her some really tight bonds with Brian and Nari so that we can eventually start bringing Kangu into the mix, and ideally she won't object to them being friends with him by that point.
The chimp team's efforts to get Sasha acquainted with leader Brian and female Nari are paying off. For the last few days, they've been spending a lot of time together, and relationships are progressing well. This morning, Sean is giving the trio a fruity treat of frozen blueberries. A specially designed feeding station in the roof allows Sean to drop the scatter feed into the playroom below.
Past couple of days, putting Brian, Nari and Sasha all together, put them in a big area and can't just leave them for the day. Kind of throw in lots of foods and even high-value stuff just to see how they cope with one another, if they're happy feeding around one another. And yeah, there's not been any issues. They've not been super intense with one another. There's been a bit of playtime, a bit of grooming, but mainly they're quite happy just lounging around each other, which has been quite nice, really. So yeah, hopefully next step is to try and bring the young man into the mix.
It's been a difficult few weeks for Kangu. He's been unable to take part fully in introductions because his mum, Sasha, isn't keen on her son being separated from her to meet the others. Her reaction is very disruptive and causes him stress, meaning his opportunity to integrate with the group has been put on hold.
Kangu man! You need more, buddy? You're just going to sulk in the corner. You want some? Yeah. We'll get you involved at some point. He's not terribly good socially, so I don't think he really knows massively how to be a chimp, really. When it comes to approaching the others, he's a bit much, but that could be just down to Sasha's reactions making him then overreact. But yeah, physically, he's a bit smaller than I would expect a male of 15 to be. Mobility-wise, he's not exactly the most graceful boy in the world either. I do wonder whether there might be some sort of physical problem there. I mean, it could just be that he hasn't built up his muscles because where they were before, the climbing frame wasn't the biggest, so he's not had much opportunity to really exercise. So, yeah, we want to make sure, give it the best chance of working out, and right now I think the best chance of working out is hopefully making Sasha friends with both parties, and then hope she'll be a peacemaker between them when we do eventually start bringing him in with the others. I'm fairly confident. I mean, he seems quite a nice guy. Brian's an absolute sweetheart, so fingers crossed they work out all right. I think meeting Rodders might be a bit of a shock to his system.
Brian is the largest in the group and the dominant male. He's a big and impressive looking chimp, but when it comes to introductions, he's a gentle giant.
He's a superstar. Every intro I've seen him in, he's just been wonderful. He just goes in. I think he can be a bit intimidating. He doesn't quite realise how big he is, and so he just charges in there, just being like, "Oh yeah, we're friends now," and like just doesn't think, "Oh, this might be quite scary for that new person." Like, particularly with Sasha, you can see he went in and grabbed the leg and was kind of swinging it around, and he's having a wonderful time. But she's a bit like, "Oh my God, he's attacking me." But yeah, no, he's so nice, and he does really just want to make friends with everyone.
The introductions will continue, their pace dictated by the chimp's reactions and welfare. It may well be a long, slow process, but the team are hopeful that in the end, they'll have one happy, harmonious group. It's been a little over a month since the park welcomed 2 chimpanzees from Argentina, mother and son Sasha and Kangu. The pair have joined Brian's group, and introductions have been progressing, albeit with mixed results. Sasha has met everyone, and is getting along particularly well with Brian and Nari. But Kangu's introductions haven't gone quite so well. Sasha is incredibly protective of her son, and a little jealous when he meets the others. This causes him to become stressed and puts the rest of the group on edge. The chimp team are keen to move things on. Today they're going to let Sasha outside with 3 of the group, in the hope she'll be too occupied to notice when Kangu is meeting other chimps inside.
Hoping for the best, she goes out and explores the space. We've tried to prepare her as best we can. We've built a nice little subgroup around her to kind of be that emotional support for her when she goes out into a new scary environment, because she's not going to have Kangu with her. She's a bright girl, and I think she's desperate to get outside. So yeah, I'm just so happy that she's finally going to get to go out.
Brian, Nari and Lulu are already in the enclosure as Sean opens the slide to let Sasha out. Big boss Brian gives her an enthusiastic welcome before she sets off to explore. Sasha and Kangu had outdoor and indoor space at their Buenos Aires home, but nothing on the scale of Brian's enclosure. The climbing frame is 15 metres high.
She's obviously a little bit nervous. You can kind of see it in her face as she's going around, and this is all very, very new, completely different country and climate. I don't think she's ever been on a climbing frame with such height and complexity before. It's all very new and exciting. She's got Tuan, a big, massive orangutan staring at her. So yeah, it's going to be a nervous day for her, I think. But yeah, she'll get used to it in the end. It's early days and looking very positive so far.
Nari casts herself in the role of Sasha's chaperone, following her wherever she goes and offering reassurance. There's a lot to take in, not just the new surroundings, but everything outside the enclosure too. Lots of other primates are visible from the top of the climbing frame, but Sasha takes everything in her stride.
It's kind of like the perfect moment when you rescue a new chimp, just to see them go outside and be in the group and, you know, feel the grass under their toes for that first time. Physically, it's going to be a huge benefit. You know, they're meant to be up and off the ground, they're meant to be climbing, they're meant to have these complex spaces, and that is exactly what she has now. Yeah, it's just wonderful, but it's another stepping stone, which is great, but we've still got a long, long way to go.
It's been nearly a year since Argentine chimp Sasha and her son Kangu arrived from Buenos Aires Zoo. 16-year-old Kangu has fully integrated into Brian's group and getting on well with his new family. But next door in Bart's troop, for his mum Sasha, it's still a work in progress. She's made friends with some of the lower-ranking individuals, but with leader Bart, it's a case of 1 step forward, 2 steps back. As a result, the group has been split for some time, frustrating alpha male Bart. In an attempt to move the situation on, the primate care staff have decided to try something different today. But it's not without risk.
We're letting them outside together with a small subgroup of people who are pretty solid with both of them. That can be a source of comfort for both Bart and Sasha. And yeah, hopefully all goes well, because it's always a scary point this when you move it outside. When we do introductions inside the house, we have a lot more control of the situation, but outside in the enclosure, you're very limited. If it starts going wrong, you've kind of got to hope that they run back towards the house so that you can put a slide in between them. So yeah, it's a big leap, this one, but it definitely needs to happen.
Sasha and Bart are let outside with a carefully selected group of friends, including Cindy, Beth, and Buster, along with Bart's older sister Eddie, who also gets on well with Sasha. The team hope the elder sibling can play the role of go-between and help the fractious pair get along. The final two chimps making up the numbers today are Lola, currently Sasha's best friend, and low-ranking Pepper, who's fairly easygoing and capable of sticking up for the newcomer if she feels inclined. With a scatter feed capturing everyone's attention, they're all calm, including Bart.
He's not massively keen on letting her interact with him, so she keeps approaching him and panting, making all the right gestures, and I think she would like some more positive interaction. But because he's a giant wimp, he just keeps running away from her. But then when she walks away from him, he follows her everywhere. So the interest is there, just he's just too much of a wimp to actually take that plunge. But hopefully the more he's exposed to her like this outside where he's nice and relaxed, it'll just happen over time.
A recent house swap means Sasha hasn't spent much time in this outside space, and she didn't have a large outdoor enclosure at her home in Argentina, so she's adapted remarkably well. She's now confident on the large structures and hosing, which the chimps use to move around. Her problem is the social side of life and how to act in chimp society. In Argentina, she did spend some time living with other chimps, but only in very small numbers. For the last few years, she's only had Kangoo for company.
She's not lived in a huge group with a massive social dynamic. It's been a slow learning curve that she can't just do whatever she wants, and she has to behave more appropriately around them. Although Lola, being a little low-ranking female, was just quite keen to have a friend herself, I think. And I think Lola's been a bit more permissive of Sasha's eccentricities, shall we say. And that's why I think they've ended up forming quite a strong bond, because they're both just very tolerant to one another.
Bart, on the other hand, was born at the park 16 years ago and has never known anything other than life with the group.
Part of the reason why Bart is such a baby is because they all treat him like a baby still, basically. They've all kind of been there and looked after him even after he's lost both of his parents, and yeah, he kind of gets comfort from pretty much the whole group. He's part of the reason why he just hasn't built up that resilience, because everyone's took care of everything for him his entire life.
It may be just a small step towards Bart accepting Sasha, but so far today, things are looking more positive. The team will persevere in the coming days, adding in more chimps with the aim of getting all the troop back together, with Sasha a fully integrated member. At Brian's group, most of the chimps are outside enjoying the sunshine. Until a few months ago, there were 6 members of the troop. But that changed when 23-year-old female chimp Chocola arrived from Kenya. Her story is one of heartbreak and hope. She was rescued as a baby from the illegal black market trade after her family was shot and killed. Chocola didn't escape injury. She suffered a number of wounds caused by bullet fragments and was paralysed down much of her right side. She was cared for by Graziella Kottman for 23 years. But last year, age and health issues meant Graziella could no longer give Chocola the care and attention required. Alison agreed to give the chimp a home, and Jeremy flew out to Kenya to collect her.
I too quick. I too quick.
Bringing Chocola back to Monkey World, where she's been slowly integrated into Brian's group.
She's doing surprisingly well, to be honest, better than I expected. Like, it's not perfect, there are a few little hurdles, like She's not massively interested in interacting with the other chimps just so yet, but she doesn't really know how to, so that's fine. It'll come with time. She's still not really great with eating. She's very used to having things presented right to her on the tip of a spoon, so you try and get to eat a more appropriate chimp diet and she just looks at you like you're crazy, but that slowly seems to be sinking in. But yeah, overall she's doing really well and like I said, come along a lot better than I thought in a much shorter space of time. So yeah, it's looking fairly positive so far.
Monkey World have rescued and cared for a number of primates with physical disabilities in the past, but none with such profound issues as Chocola. It's been a steep learning curve for the staff and the chimp.
Now that we've seen how she gets along inside the bedrooms, moving around on up mesh, on fire hose, on platforms, we had a better idea of how we needed to kit out the playroom to get that ready for her. So now we've loaded a lot of platforms, we'd added a few steps up into those platforms as well. We'd basically completely gutted all the hosing from the house, put it in there a lot tighter, added some cargo nets to catch her if she does have any little falls from any areas. So just tried to cover as many bases as we can, just so it is a lot more comfortable in there. We are hoping that, yeah, being in a more dynamic space and just being shut in the back bedrooms will kind of broaden her horizons and make her more keen on interacting with the others, trying a bit more of the different diets and whatnot, and yeah, just looking out and exploring the world from the window. So hopefully this will actually get her interested in trying more things and getting her to realise there is more to life than just being sat there and getting spoon-fed yoghurt all the time.
Introductions to Brian's group have been going well, and so far, Chocola has met everyone apart from Rodders, who can be aggressive when introduced to new faces. Chocola has struck up a nice relationship with Kangu, a male rescued from Argentina 2 years ago. And female Ash, the largest in the group, has also welcomed the newbie.
Surprisingly, Ash has just been wonderful with the introductions. She knows the drill now, she knows what it's up against. She saw Chocola, she didn't feel threatened at all, and so she was more open to just being friendly from the get-go, and Chocola definitely responded. And yeah, it's just little bits day by day, which is just quite the wonderful part of rescuing them, actually seeing them getting to be chimps again and understanding, oh no, this is what I'm meant to be doing, and she's finally getting a chance at the life that she should have had all these years. Even though it doesn't matter how many times you rescue the chimps or how many of them you get to know in your life, they are all just so individually wonderful, and again, just seeing those odd little personality quirks and seeing coming out their shells more, and yeah, she's a little delight actually. She's very, very sweet. So good days and bad days, but she's doing very, very well.
Being able to enjoy the playroom has been a great advantage for Chocola. Using the space and moving around is helping to build up her muscles and joints. All good signs for her future. It's been 7 months since 23-year-old female chimp Chocola arrived at the park from Kenya. The primate care staff have used that time to slowly integrate her into Brian's group of 6. Chocola has now finally met everyone, and the troop are living together as one.
It couldn't have gone better. I am just so pleased that we bothered to sort of take that big leap of faith, hoping that we would be able to offer her a family of her own kind again. And I can happily say right now, with everything crossed and touching wood, that she is now part of Brian's group, which now numbers 7 with Chocola, and it's just gone amazingly well.
The final piece of the jigsaw was Chocola's introduction to Rodders, who can be aggressive when introduced to new faces.
Rodders, we just took it slow and slow and slow until we saw Chocola and Rodders actually trying to embrace through the mesh, and it was just really nice. So we opened the door, and yeah, he's been magic with her ever since. And I don't know whether they see the fact that she's needy, whether they just like her. Who knows, but it's worked out, and indeed this is our smallest group of sort of misfits, oddballs, and special needs group. But I mean, what a better place for Chocola, and I think she's now got a family for life.
With the group all together and enjoying the indoor space, The next major hurdle for Chocola to overcome is to take a leap of faith and step outside into the large outdoor enclosure. The maintenance team have been asked to help by making it easier for her to get from the house to the enclosure. They've taken into account the chimp's disabilities and altered the tunnel system, putting in new slides and a ramp. So far, she's ventured into the tunnels, but is yet to fully commit to taking that next big step.
I just sort of know that she's going to do it in her own time, and it doesn't matter how much we do to encourage her. When she finally makes that decision, it will be the day that she decides to stroll outside. But, you know, as spring's here, you can see all of the pollen floating in the air. I'm hoping that she decides to get outside and get some sunshine, because I know she'll love it.
It's a far cry from Chocola's early life. She was stolen from the wild as a baby when her mother was shot and killed. Chocola still has bullet fragments lodged in her skull from that shocking ordeal. Despite the disabilities it caused, the chimp adapted well under the care of Graziella Cotman in Kenya. But she lived without company of her own kind. Now all that has changed, and Chocola has 6 housemates to interact with.
She likes Brian, but he's not her favorite. Definitely Kangoo or Rodders. Nari's okay. She quite likes Ash. Lulu can do whatever she wants. She comes and goes and is a law unto herself. So, yeah, just really pleased for her.
Chocola has come a long way in 7 months, although she still has a lot to learn about living with other chimps. And no doubt she'll conquer the trepidation of stepping into the outdoor enclosure in her own time. One of the park's biggest and most recent success stories, which also took a lot of time and organisation, is the arrival of chimp Chocola. It was just under a year ago that Jeremy flew to Kenya to bring her back to Dorset. The team were concerned she might not even manage the journey to the UK. And there were worries about how she would cope meeting a bunch of rowdy chimps, having lived without company of her own kind. Chocola became disabled as a baby after her family was shot and she was stolen from the wild. She was left with paralysis down her right side, caused by bullet spray lodged inside her skull. But despite all her difficulties, Chocola is now fully integrated into Brian's small troop and gets on well with all her new family. But there's one thing she hasn't achieved yet, taking her first steps into the group's large outdoor enclosure. The care staff have done all they can to help her, adapting the house and tunnel system connected to the enclosure and adding ramps to make it easier to access.
You know, it took us a little while to actually meet her needs and expectations. We kept making modifications to the house and to the tunnel and to the enclosure and so on, but really, probably we just needed to wait for her to find the right time and place to feel comfortable doing it. But she's a fully integrated member of the group now, and it's just so lovely to see.
Chocola has ventured to the entrance of the enclosure.
How long is this? Yes, you.
But so far has been unwilling to take that final step.
He's a clever girl.
Until today.
Well done, baby. You're so clever. All that way.
To the delight of the team, she cautiously heads into the enclosure, sits down, and takes it all in.
You're so clever.
The rest of the group arrive to offer Chocola encouragement and reassurance.
They all seem to be quite nice and calm with her. She's had Nari come over so they can have a bit of a groom, which I think also helped kind of build her confidence when she's got the others coming over and being so nice and calm with her.
It's a massive achievement. The team's hard work and patience has paid off. Then, an emotional moment for all, Chocola starts to explore, taking the final step towards a more fulfilling life as a fully fledged member of a chimpanzee troop.
I can't even believe it. I thank all of the stars, but really, most of the credit goes, of course, to Brian and his group of chimpanzees. In the end, the most important thing in what we do for all of the primates here at the park is give them their families back again. And being with other chimpanzees and seeing how they behave, interact, what they eat, how they do things, is what has brought Chocola back into the land of chimpanzee society. Couldn't be more pleased for her. It's just wonderful.